Hello everyone, welcome to Event Digital class. I am Miss Milan Samantray, lecturer in BSc ITM. In today's class, we are going to study about some concept of computer organization, that is addressing mode. It is a very important concept. In many competitive exams, from the addressing mode you may get many questions. Okay. So, listen carefully. So, addressing modes means what? In the previous lecture I have already discussed about the instruction formats, and when I am discussing that I have told you the architecture of an instruction. It is like mode and opcode, then here is our operand. I have told you about opcode and operand, but in this we will see about the modes, and modes means how we will treat the operand or how we will determine the address of an operand. So, let us see. So, addressing modes are the ways by using which we write the memory location of an operand in an instruction. Okay. So, what? The addressing modes are the different types of ways. By using these ways you can write the operand in an instruction, whether the operand is a pointer type of, or it is a constant, or it is a variable, or it may be some array concept. Whatever concept we are using in high level language, that concept we have to present in the assembly level language format. So, for that reason you have to study about the addressing modes. Many programmers uses the computer organization concept. Computer organization means there are different type of data structures. You can also use when we are storing the instructions in a memory, but when the concept comes into the operand, you have to follow the organizational concept, that is addressing mode. So, let us see. So, basically in every program we are using the concept of variables and constants. Okay. You have to store, you have to display the value in the variable or the constant. That means the operand may be a variable type or may be a constant type, and always we cannot give the variables as a constant, because if I will write let a equals to c plus d, here I can provide value of c and value of d as a constant like 5 or 6, but the value of a you cannot determine at the time of program writing. Okay. After the calculation of c and d you can determine the value of a. That is why we also need to represent the variables in an instruction. Okay. So, there are different types of addressing modes, and on the basis of processors the addressing mode types are different, but here we will study common addressing modes. So, precisely all the addressing modes are categorized into two types. One is register mode and another one is absolute mode. So, what the register mode determines? As the name suggests, register mode is one type of addressing mode, but the address is stored in the register. And here when I am talking about absolute mode, the address is stored in a memory location, and that memory location is directly given in the instruction. We will see it later in some examples, but you have to remember the register mode means address is in the register. Here operand is not in the register, the address of an operand is in the register. That is why sometimes this is called as indirect addressing mode and absolute mode is called as direct addressing mode. That means the address of operand is directly given, or you can say the address of an operand explicitly given in an instruction. So, precisely we are dividing the addressing modes into two types, register mode or absolute mode, but there are many type of addressing modes on basis of this, whether it is direct or whether it is indirect. Okay. So, let us discuss one after another. So, first one is our immediate addressing mode. As the name suggests, immediate addressing mode means you can find out or you can add the value of the variable immediately with the another variable or another register, whatever. But before going to the details of immediate addressing mode, there is a concept called as effective address. Okay. So, in every type of addressing modes, you have to calculate the effective address of the operand. And what the effective address determine? So, the effective address determines the memory location of an operand. That means, where the operand is stored in the memory, we have to calculate that address, okay. And that address is called as effective address. But when comes to the immediate addressing mode concept, you do not need to calculate the effective address. Why? Because in immediate addressing mode, the value of the operand is directly given in the instruction. Okay. So, let us see how. So, the syntax of writing or using the immediate addressing mode is hash value. Okay. So, this is the syntax, and basically the immediate addressing mode is used to write the concept of constant in an instruction, okay. And also the value is given explicitly. Explicitly means directly we are giving the value, we are not storing the value in any register or in any memory location. Okay. Instead of that, we are using the value directly. So, take an example. When I am writing, let count equals to count plus 1, or if I am writing like s equals to s plus 6. So, these are in high level language concept, but when I am representing this high level into the assemblable language format, we will use the concept of immediate addressing mode. Here what we will do? We know that for every instruction execution, we have to store the operand either in the register or in any memory location, and by using the register and memory location, you can do the operations. So, here let S is stored in a register, that is R1, and another is 6. So, you have to update the content of R1 by adding value 6. So, how we will write in assemblable language program? For this, what is the syntax? Syntax is using the sub sign, this. So, how we will write if it is s equals to s plus 6 and s is stored in register R1. So, simply you can write add, what you have to add? You have to add 6 with the content of R1. And what is the content of R1? The value of S. So, add 6 to R1 and store it in the R1 register. And when I am writing like this, simply 6, it is not the valid format. You have to write the constant value by using a sharp sign. So, this is the concept of writing immediate addressing mode. When this type of format comes into the assembly level language notation, you will conclude that the immediate addressing mode concept is used. So, this means R1 equals to the content of R1 plus 6, and the content of R1 is the value of S. So, basically the constant increment like counter increment or any type of incremental values, we are using the immediate addressing mode. When we are adding a constant value to a variable, there you have to use the immediate addressing mode concept. Okay. So, let us see another addressing mode. So, next is indirect addressing mode. Okay. And immediate addressing mode is an example of absolute addressing mode, or you can simply call it as a direct addressing mode. We are directly giving the value of the operand in the instruction, but here we are using the indirect concept. Let us see how. What is the syntax? Syntax is you have to represent the register or the memory location. If I will provide the memory location like this, whether you can store the value of A into the R1 or you can directly use the A concept. Okay. But you have to write this, the register enclosed by the parenthesis, That means the register R1, it contains the memory location, it does not contain a value of operand. When I am writing, let R1 content is 600, that means this 600 is a memory location, it is not the value of an operand, because here I am using the concept of indirect addressing mode. If I will add R1 with R2, if I will write this instruction, that means you have to add the content of the memory location which is stored in R1 with the content of R2. How we will represent in a memory? Let this is one memory, here is our instruction add R1 R2. Okay. Let R1 contains the value A and R2 contains value B. Okay. So, how we will write? Here is R1 and R1 holds A and here is A, it holds a value, let it is 10. So, when I am fetching an operand, you have to fetch the value 10, you do not have to fetch the address of this location. Let the address is, let it is 600, here what we will store? We will store 600 in the R1. First memory will read the content of R1, that is a memory location, then after getting that memory location it will perform another read operation on that memory location, it will get the value of the operand, that is 10, and after getting the value of 10 it will add with the content of R2, then the value is stored in the R2. Like this you cannot simply write R1 content plus R2 content, because the R1 content is a memory location and the operand in is in that memory location which is stored in the R1 register. So, this is invalid. So, you have to write like this. So, basically this concept is used when I am representing the pointer concept in the programming. So, let us see how we will write a pointer by using indirect addressing mode. Let A equals to asterisk B. When I am writing asterisk B, that means B is a pointer. So, how we will write? First you have to move the B value into R1, then what? You have to again moves the content of R1 into A like this, because when I am writing asterisk B, that means this B holds specifically an address. So, when I am storing that address, I will write like this. So, now A stores the value, here R1 stores the address, because in asterisk B symbol, B is the address value, but completely this instruction is a constant value. Okay. So, we have to move the value which is stored in this location B into A. So, here R1 contains an address or memory location, but in this representation R1 contains a value which is moved into the A, and that register which stores or holds the memory location, that is called as pointer register. As it works as a pointer in assembly language, so we can call it as a pointer register. Okay. So, let us take a real life example when we are using the indirect addressing mode. When we are searching for a treasure, you may find a node instead of treasure, and that node determines the address of the treasure, or that address may determines another address where you will get the treasure. So, treasure hunt is an example of indirect addressing mode in real life, but in programming, when we will implement this indirect addressing mode, when we will use the concept of pointer basically. So, in the high level language, when we are writing the pointer concept, we will use the indirect addressing mode. Okay. So, this is all about today class. In the next class, we will study some more addressing modes of computer organization, that is indexing addressing mode, relative addressing mode, auto increment and auto decrement addressing modes. Thank you.